they've Yeah, I would say for now is I highly advise that they either VPN or hotspot their phone. Maybe get a VPN on their phone. There's Proton VPN, which I highly recommend. It's free. They've got a free tier, and you can connect to the Never
Okay.
America too, right? So Washington or something. As long as it's not in that state, there's no restrictions. In terms of what Ready Player Me have said, they basically shunned it off for now, so they've not been very helpful, unfortunately.
Right, but you guys were
There's
working on a
been
workaround.
Yeah,
right?
there's a workaround on that. That's in the works right now. I can't give an exact ETA, but it literally, yeah, it's the team are on it. Brian and a few others are on the back end cracking that out for you guys. All right, and yeah.
Thank you very much.
There may be like a little bit of a crossover time. I think Shane mentioned that there could be a chance that you might be able to see the avatars again, but to change the avatar, you might need to just access that site through a VPN. All right, so there could be that in between the process of it getting switched over to our thing. All right. And also just to add on that, some clarification. So once the system switches over to our internal thing, there could be people might expect it to happen instantly, but what happens is our backend servers will pull the copy of the GLB, but it might take about 5 minutes. So there could be like a little time in between where you might just be a ball for like 5 minutes or so. But just give it a chance, and then everybody's the backend will update, and then shift that new file onto everybody else. Then, so yeah. But yeah, ETA on the update, I can't give it right now, but maybe a week or two. All right. But ASAP for sure. It's definitely a priority.
Thank you so much.
No worries. Come on at me. Keep on coming. Oh, okay. So as I say, oh, there we go. We got another. Let me just unmute there, kitty. On the megaphone here. Trey, coming up there. Hello there, Trey.
Okay.
Always.
So I know you probably answered this 1,000 times before, but what does the new avatar system look like? Like, how does the upload process look working? Like, how's that gonna work? Is it through Unity? What?
It'll be a little Blender plugin, but there could even be a little like a website side of it too. So how we've added the events and space maker stuff to the spaces side of SideQuest, there could even be like a page on the avatar creation screen where you could like plop in a GLB file there potentially. But what is for sure right now is that there will be a Blender plugin that you can install. And then once you've got your file done with Mixamo and whatever, however rigged you want, because it's going to be really flexible now. So it's not going to be strictly to the old school Ready Player Me bone convention with all of the weird names and stuff. So you don't, yeah, exactly. So anybody struggling right now who's like, fuck Ready Player Me, maybe hold fire, okay? You might have an avatar already made, ready rigged up, and it might just work without any system out of the bag without any of the. Cool. All right. Happy days. Nice one, Trey. Great question there.
Thank you.
No worries. Oh, hello there. Divine. You're on the megaphone, live to the world.
So mine's just a really quick question because it went with his basically. So basically, you're telling us that it's not going to be just the A pose, so it can do like a T pose.
T pose is normally the preferred choice, right? I think A pose was maybe a thing that Ready Player Me had for some reason. I'm not sure what it was, but yeah, we've got a bit more flexibility there in terms of that. Yeah, as long as it. Yeah, I'm not sure exactly how it works, but it's a lot more flexible. And you know what Aline's like? She will push to make it as best and as easily accessible as possible. Yeah, you know the score.
Thank you.
No worries. Great questions so far. Touche, everybody. Sterminator, what have you got for us, buddy? Hit us.
Do we have any news about a new menu ahead? Like maybe like I did ask last time, something about a phone or something, or a new menu kind of thing. Is that any update on that or?
The phone was maybe kind of an idea thrown out there for now, so it wasn't a definitive thing at the moment. What is being worked on right now by Gareth is it's basically almost done. I think just a few more fine-tuning bits here and there. I think some localization in terms of language support that we can offer out of the gate. We want to try and get that too, and obviously make sure we've not lost any functionality. But we don't want to put out a new menu and have stuff missing or stuff not work properly. But yeah, it's basically there. It's really stylish. Like when you open your menu now, everything's easily accessible there. There's a better VR view and a 2D view of it all. You don't need to use the on-screen keyboard anymore. There's a better VR view. You can use your own.
Terminator 94 has glitched into the Matrix.
Demoed a new virtual keyboard, which is literally a physical virtual keyboard with keys that you can push, and it's just crazy. And potentially the option to customize some of the colors too, so you could potentially change the tint around the keys, just like you would with your RGB keyboard, for example. But yeah, loads of crazy stuff. It's going to be a lot better, and I can't wait for you guys to see it and get your hands on it, basically. But yeah, as I say with everything else, I guess coming soon. But yeah, it's almost there now. Great question there. Oh, am I muted?
Overseas Aquamarine is too late.
No.
Okay.
Did you
Arkin beamed in.
you think? My megaphone.
There you go.
Okay.
I'm lagging a bit there, guys. Sorry. Apologies.
No, you're fine. You're fine. You're doing great, by the way.
Thank you.
So so with
Everyone's kind of moving at 2 frames a second here, like this.
I've noticed there's been a few people on here, well, about 3 or 4 that I've noticed that are either deaf or hard hearing, and I was wondering, are y'all going to come out with anything like a chat system so we can communicate better with those players or those people?
Yes. So I think Shane mentioned this on an AMA a few weeks ago, actually. So once the menu gets brought out, we'll then start to implement the ability to have the side quest chat system built into the game without you having to open up like a meta browser or a separate window. Okay, so that will be there.
Awesome.
Yeah, so that's kind of it really. Maybe emotes too. So like the way to express yourself. Shane has done a little UI elements in there, and then having the back end work with the UI, so it all works really nicely.
Yeah, I was going to ask about like hand tracking to do sign language, but yeah,
hand tracking.
That's probably way in the back.
That would be half the body tracking, and probably making a little tangent to body tracking. That's very imminently getting worked on too. So the guy that we've got, Naheem or Nimso, as you guys know, he's been working on a new character controller system, but at the same time now, once that's kind of a little bit more fully fleshed out, which it's very close to being, then body tracking will get implemented then with OSC support. So you know, all of the normal stuff that you guys are used to with in VR chat should work here too. Okay, and then after that, then the hand tracking. It could come a little bit sooner. You know, it like if it turns out that it just works well, just to develop it at the same time as the body tracking, then for sure it will be put in there too. But yeah, at the moment the current ETA is probably a little bit after. So in the timelines of things, once you see the menu, you'll see the messaging, and then after that, then body tracking, and then hopefully then hand tracking after that, or maybe at the same time. But no promises right now on an ETA for that. Sorry. But yeah,
it would just be really nice to give those people an option to communicate with us better, you know.
But in the meantime, once our new character controller system comes out, we'll have better gestures. So so what you're used to in other games, where you place your hands on top of the buttons, like the analog sticks, even that gap next to the A and B and Y and X buttons, there's not a button. That's a capacitive sensor. So that all that will get registered as a gesture instead of it being you having to physically push buttons now. So you'll have a little bit more freedom with your hands. So that might help with some of those guys. But yeah, we're trying to bring everything in as much as quick as we can. But it's a I don't know, stepping stones process. Yeah, we wish we could do it all right now. But yeah, great question. Touche. There you go, guys. Keep them coming. Arkin, let me megaphone you there, buddy.
Hey, I don't interact very much, so I'm a little bit awkward. But I've been hosting an event, the VR Creators Club, where I've been bringing people who are not familiar with Banter, and
Yeah.
they've been having a harder time like logging in and figuring out their stuff. And I saw that that you guys just introduced the new world to kind of help with that a little bit.
Yes.
So that's great, and I really like that. And I'm sure that you guys are kind of like getting that, but I just wanted to kind of provide some feedback from a point of view that I thought was kind of dealing with larger masses of people who aren't from
I
Banter.
understand. We
Yeah,
we will admit first for sure that our onboarding process isn't the smoothest right now. A lot of people are probably used to signing in directly, like in the headset, even if it is a little bit more clunky than just typing in a 6-digit code. People prefer that method without taking off the headset. We do get that. But yeah, that will all come to with the new menu. So just every bugbear that you've got right now, a lot of it will potentially get fixed with the new menu system, and then also with that new space that you mentioned that's coming very soon, or maybe in the new build now. Actually, I'm not quite sure. I'm on an early build all the time, so I don't know anymore. But yeah, that space there, you may have seen if you tested it out. There are some animations on the walls. Those will be fully fledged videos that will show you how to navigate the new website, and clearly, yeah. So yeah, we understand. We hear you. We know how clunky it is right now. The first thing that you'll see is potentially ways to sign in instead of it being hidden behind like an extra button there. Like the second you open the menu, there'll be a side component that will show you that you're a guest. It may even show your guest name. And then obviously like an option maybe to get logged in quickly, or the welcome space will provide a lot of the diversion for a lot of those bugbear issues, right? So they'll see the video in the welcome space and they'll be like, okay, that's what I got to do. And then even if there isn't a direct way to sign in right now on the website and in the new menu system, that will come very soon. And once the new menu's there, we can start adding stuff to it very, very easily. Then we just need to get it in there and fully working without any issues, because that's the last thing we want is people getting annoyed when things don't function properly, even though we're trying to provide maybe a better function for something. But yeah, it's a tight battle there. But yeah.
Yeah, I like.
We're listening for sure.
Yeah, I like where it's going. Not really a critique, just more of like general feedback. So
no, we get it. We're hearing you.
Cool.
We totally get it.
Cool.
Like the amount of people that we have to like help here, so it's something that we do want to help sort out, make it smoother for people. But yeah, another great question. All got bloody great questions. Touche. Keep them coming. I'm gonna just dance for a minute. Oh, okay. No dancing for me. Okay. Right.
Okay, so I know I mentioned this 1,000 times before, and but is it like is Banter gonna? I know that Shane created the world building system back in the Allspace days, where we can like, and he wanted somebody in the community to build it here in Banter. But like how how is it like I don't even like know any documentation or how to even get started with anything like that.
It's definitely difficult, right? So Shane has said that he would prefer that somebody in the community kind of does it and kind of takes it under their wing and has something to show for themselves to say, yeah, look at me, I made this thing, and people are like, yeah, my god, I love you, you're amazing, god, it's the tray builder, right? If you made it, be you'd be the god of banter. So yeah, what I would say is maybe ChatGPT, right? That's your friend, or what's that called? Entropics. What's his name? Clyde or Clive or whatever it's called. That AI as well. That's meant to be really crazy for code making. So there's also a thing in A-Frame. So here's a little sneaky little trick for you guys. If you're ever in a glitch editing a project and you're just using A-Frame, you can push Control, Alt, and I, and then go to the A-Frame inspector, and it's a fully fledged 3D inspector. And then if you've named all of your A-Frame objects properly, all of the entities, then you can see them in the hierarchy of this new thing that just loads up when you push these things. So if somebody wanted to, they could potentially take the gubbins of that, because some of it's got to be open source, or at least take inspiration from how it works, and maybe put in a VR-friendly menu system that could then show that hierarchy, change the positions with some nice intuitive controls, maybe. That's basically what Shane's
Control Shift I.
Control Alt and I. If you click on the preview window in Glitch, it'll open up the A-frame inspector. It's crazy. It's like a mini Unity in your web browser. You're welcome.
Okay, thank you.
Yeah. All right. Sorry, Trey, but yeah, if somebody doesn't make it, Shane will probably make it in the future if he's got time.
Yeah.
Yeah. But yeah.
Okay.
Great question there, Trey.
Thank you.
Okay, time to dance. Oh, not giving me a chance to dance, guys. God, what's going on here? Okay, Divine, go on then.
Don't worry, you can dance while I say this. So
okay.
During the oh my gosh. Okay, so during the scavenger hunt, I went into a room that was like freaked me out because all of a sudden when I went in there, I heard your voice and I'm like, what is this? And it was the Banter Parkour training something other. I don't remember what the whole name was, but yeah, it was like a statue of you, like your avatar standing there, and it has like a whole bunch of like things you could play with your voice, telling you how to do things and stuff like that. It was pretty cool. Yeah, I didn't know that world existed.
That's unusual. That could be like maybe a bug or something. That's unusual because my guess is that there's potentially you loaded into two spaces at once. You probably had the A-frame of the parkour training map while you went into a different space. I don't know how that is. I don't know.
No.
I'm interested to know what the hell's going on there. That sounds crazy. Well, out of curiosity, what space was it in?
I just read the name out just a minute ago. It said something about Banter Parkour training something other.
Yes, that is a space that is a proper space. Yeah. So I'll plug it now, right? So if you want a bit of training, you can go through the Banter Parkour training space. It's there in the featured spaces list, and then you get to hear my annoying voice for about half an hour through nice stages, awesome. Where I try to attempt to help you get through the space. But to add to that, probably a little tangent there. I had another little play with the new character controller system today that Nimso's working on, and I can't wait for you guys to try it because it's literally going to make everybody's life so much easier. People are going to have so much more fun on, let's say, tush push. The physical things that you can do. In terms of the physics toys that you can play with, it's a game changer. Honestly, it blows Hexabody, which is our current character controller system, out of the water. So stay tuned for that. There could even be little sneak peeks of that in a build that you guys can try out as well to get some feedback. So stay tuned for that. All right. Great question there, Divine. Hang on there, Ark. 1 second, buddy. Hit us.
Okay, I got one of my where all this is going in the future kind of questions. So,
oh boy,
where I'm going to go with this is your projection 10, 20 years down the line, not currently what's here now, right? So currently, different, social VR platforms all have their different things, whether you're talking about Banter, VR Chat, RiffXR, Resonite, Horizon Worlds, or whatever, right? Everybody, they do have their own, pluses and minuses to them, just because they're different philosophies, whatever, right? But also in conjunction with that, like software developers are now starting to use like AI to help assist, with the development of different, coding and just different ideas and stuff, right? You get that. So if we aggregate all the things that are currently available right now, like, and I'm not saying this to tip my hand to other platforms, but for example, in RiffXR, you can go into one of their holodecks and just say, blah, 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 and it'll generate a 2D, generic thing. It's not that impressive, but it's still kind of cool. Or if you go into a Resonite, you can do that, all those interesting things too. And, in Banter, it's got its own things that it can do. If we aggregate all the things that are currently possible right now, and also then project the evolution of AI assisting, what's going to happen with social VR platforms in your view in the next 10, 20 years as, all these different concepts continue to evolve and AI learns to just natively understand principles of Unity and Blender and what's the other one? Unreal Engine and all the other different, things that are used under the hood of gaming, where like right now, if I want to download a game, I've got to wait for it to download. In a future, could you see where like, I come into Banter and I just say, I want to play Skyrim VR. Again, we're projecting 20, maybe even 20 years out. And just the platform, it doesn't download like Skyrim or, Horizon, Call of the Mountain or whatever. It just creates it in the platform. Can you see that, being something that, where social VR platforms, what do you want to call them, metaverse platforms, or whatever, become kind of, not just a social environment, but effectively, holodecks like in Star Trek, where you ask things and it just generates inside of the platform and creates whatever you want. Do you see that coming? Is that something that I'm not getting into the complexities of the legal, and the moral implications of like ownership of, different IPs, and that's a different subject which deserves its own discourse as well. But as far as technologically, do you see that evolution happening sometime in the next 10, 20 years? So I know there's a bit to unpack with that, but I assume you get where I'm going with that.
Yeah, that's a deep question. Jesus. Right. Okay. Let me try and unpack that. All right. 10 or 20 years. I would like to imagine that AI, I don't even think that we've fully grasped the potential of it yet. We're kind of using it to do things with things that we've already got, right? So we're using it to generate code. We're using it to generate models. We're using it to generate textures. But what's the crazy thing that people are kind of missing right now is the generative video concept of it, right? Side of things. Mm-hmm. So in 10 or 20 years, which is what you said in your question, I can see generative video being something that could even replace game engines, for example, right? As long as the AI can, on the fly, but with a bit of, reinforcement on what it previously knows and keep kind of going forward, but knowing what's going on, having a full awareness of the situation, you could see, I don't know, where games aren't really games anymore. As you say, you could go into, let's say, a holodeck and just say, right, I want to just, for example, conjure up a space where I can meet a load of people. And as long as a load of other people agree to that same kind of prompt, potentially there could be some kind of cross-pollination between AIs or something. I don't know. That's one of the hypotheticals. Another one would be because of what you said in terms of AIs understanding Unity now and Blender and Unreal more, and a lot more stuff now being open source, which is great. You might see a lot more platforms kind of not still being separate, but being able to cross-pollinate slightly, right? And I would like to see those days, right? For example, like spatial. That's probably one of the highest hope apps that you've got right now in terms of social VR. I would say even above VR chat with what they're doing in terms of them pushing themselves with their web-based client and everything being open sourced, and what they're doing with visual scripting, which is very similar to what we're doing. So we could possibly see a lot more cross-pollination between platforms like that, and with AI just being able to chuck out code now, it could plumb in real time, or you prompt it to make the system that's needed to make all this work without needing to think about the heavy lifting anymore. But yeah, I don't know. That's a very deep question. I could probably talk for hours about it. But I don't know. Yeah. I guess that's the icing on the cake that I would like to see. I guess more cross pollination, AI breaking down boundaries to what is possible, and maybe people thinking outside of the box in terms of what's currently possible. Because right now, that is an analogy for a second. When the TV first came out, people didn't know what to do with the TV, so they would record a radio. They would just video a radio playing voices, and that would be a thing for a few years, for example. And then they started to work on actual television productions using live TVs and stuff. So that's kind of the shift that's happening now. Once AI's got more better, because it's still a bit jank, let's admit, we'll start to see crazier things happening that we didn't even imagine. So yeah, I guess in some parts what I've just said and more, but also I don't know as well, because we don't know. It's a crazy thing.
The known knowns, the known unknowns, and the unknown unknowns.
You've got it. Yeah. It's a deep question, and I'm sure that there's some think tanks out there right now that are really trying to crack their brains onto what is and isn't possible right now, and maybe even AI will invent things itself, right? That's something that we need to look forward to as well. Or it could even be a scary concept, I guess, for some people. But yeah, as you've always got the cracking questions there, Ark, that go real deep, and I'm sure I could talk about it. But yeah, let's move on there. Sorry, Bobby. Next question there. Touche on that question. I hope I kind of give you a bit more, give you an answer on that one, so to speak. I wish I could say more.
No, that was good. That was good.
It's deep. Go on, Restless. You're alive to the world.
Yep.
Sorry, dude.
I'm just curious. In the next update, are they gonna are they adding ragdoll, or is it even possible? Because I'd love to be able to jump off there and go face first.
Yes. So, as I mentioned, I just tested out a new character controller in a completely isolated build, totally separate to Banter right now. But the aim is this will be the new Banter character controller system, and it will potentially have ragdoll in it, or at least have, I guess, armatures and stuff. So you can maybe wrap your arms around a pole instead of gripping them. And here's another little thing that I've done today. So in Nimso's demo that I got to use, there's a ladder. Okay, so what he's done is made them swing. In this game right now, if I probably did that, I couldn't do what I'm about to tell you, right? So I was able to swing my body like this, using my hands, rolling my hands a little bit, and then I was able to, once I got enough spin, enough height, enough momentum, I was able to do a 360 spin. And if I kept pumping it, I could just keep spinning around, and my mind was blown then. And yeah, so expect everything and more.
Face planting.
Once this
Yes.
character. Yeah. So walking on walls, changing gravity, for example. These are all the things that we're thinking about behind the scenes. We really want to mess with VR. We love VR, and we like to push the boundaries. We're all psychos for physics, and
I mean, it's
really pushing it all.
mainly the comic effect, isn't it, in most games when they ragdoll, but adds more fun.
And then, like, if it was a thing that was in the game, probably not everybody would have ragdoll. So, like, another person wouldn't have, like, loads of remote players wouldn't have the ragdoll. Potentially, right now, or there could be like a limit, or it could be limited to people in your close vicinity because of compute restraints on like Quest devices for now. But yeah, for now, locally, there could be a ragdoll, and yeah, there's definitely the possibility. Well, it will be a thing. You can walk on walls, manipulate gravity, and flip your body around. This is all stuff that we want to do, and as well as that, kind of lie on the floor without the need for body tracking and stuff as well. So yeah, the Oculus body estimation system is something that we want to implement too. But that'll all come with the OSC, with the body tracking stuff that I mentioned before as well. But yeah, great question there.
Excellent.
I hope that gave you some enlightenment there. Nice.
It did.
Okay. Oh yes. Touche. Great questions. Right then, time for me to.
That's some sexy waffling you got going on there.
Yeah. Great. Yeah. Oh, yeah. So yeah, if you've got any questions, feel free to come up to the front. Don't be scared. I'll try to answer as best as I can. I don't give financial advice, so but maybe buy some Dogecoin. No, I'm joking. I don't buy Dogecoin. It's just a scam. Arkin,
what is your favorite color, and
Whoa.
why?
I don't. Oh Jesus. Okay. It's a tough one. I like two colors together. I'm a sucker. I don't like to give definitive answers. Right now, I got to admit, I kind of like pink more than most colors. But I have a soft spot for black and yellow, or red and yellow. Those two colors are really good. Red and black as well, yes, yes. Yeah, great question. It's an AMA, so ask us anything, I guess. There's no whatever.
Anything,
Go for it.
anything.
Oh boy.
Oh goodness, you better watch it.
Oh no.
No, this
Go on,
is
Vansky.
not
I'm
a
gonna
dirt.
regret this.
Be afraid.
No, 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 no. I'm gonna. Just looking at this nebula, I'm thinking, what is the meaning of life?
I don't. Okay. I hate to be the. I guess it's not a Grinch kind of answer, but I don't think there is a meaning of life, right? I think you give your own meaning to life. That's I guess a nice twist on the word on that answer there of depression there, I guess. But you put your own meaning on it, right? The universe is massive, and the universe doesn't care about us. So we need to do what we can for ourselves and for everybody else around us, and like-minded individuals, and even other people, right? We've got to think about the future. And I would say, like, the main meaning of life is to keep what we've got now going. As much as people hate Elon, he's probably the only person right now that's given humans an actual means of staying alive past any existential crises that happen in terms of multi-planetary stuff. But yeah,
My God.
be polite to people. Try and push knowledge onto others. I guess don't do as you would to yourself to others, because you might like to do sick shit to yourself, and you might want to do that to her. But yeah, be nice to people, okay? Do what you can. Don't be a dick. All of that stuff. Wear sun cream. Floss your teeth. That's the meaning of life.
Yeah.
Be cool.
All right. Thank you.
Keep pushing humanity forward and yeah. Don't be a dick. That's the meaning of life.
Be a vagaina.
1 second there, buddy. Go for it, Ark. Sorry.
Well, this is your own fault for opening this can of worms. So just FYI, this is one I asked on Beyond Realities when they did a podcast a couple weeks ago. So you mentioned Elon Musk and like things like Neuralink technology, or evolving things that are like at the bleeding edge of science and technology. I despise the man, but I like what he's trying to do. Anyway, though, as you know, there's again, like you were talking about, cross pollinations of different technologies are happening either by design or by default. Like whether you're talking about AI, different types of XR, Neuralink. These things are going to at some point start, really start, converging. I mean, I think everyone agrees that's inevitable at some point. So here's where we get into some trippy, like consciousness questions and some things that we don't even know if we're going to be asking the right questions with this. So let's say, Neuralink, happens. Let's ignore the like terrifying parts of it, because I think we all understand the parts that we're creeped out about.
Let's be optimistic right now. Yeah, let's put our optimistic hats on. Yeah.
Yeah. So, Neuralink happens, and we don't go into a dark dystopia and whatever. Mm-hmm. So I know that we don't understand what consciousness fully is. I mean, for thousands of years, we've been trying to just figure out the right question even, but let's ignore that also for a second. So we've got Neuralink, we've got things like, virtual reality, XR technologies, and all these things. As they start converging, in your view, can you see something where consciousness starts becoming something that's not necessarily is non-localized? Like right now, my consciousness is strictly, it's strictly inside of my skull.
It kind of already is. Well, it kind of isn't, right? Because you're able to project more now than what any other person in ever alive was ever able to do, even 10 years in the past, right? Yeah. So before, people would have to write books. Like that would be the first means, or inscribe onto a piece of stone, or even like even trying to I guess before speaking, you would express in kind of like a sign or mumblings of things that would get repeated. So that's sharing your consciousness, as much as you like to admit it or not. And I guess depending on what you define as consciousness, right? But I'm just meaning projection of yourself, right? Because you are projecting yourself out, and that affects everybody, right? That everybody listens to it, who's listening, and whether they like it or not, their brain might take that in. So
yeah.
It's not. I would say go one step beyond that.
I would say it's not as restrictive as what you think right now. It's there's never been a crazy time to get.
I get what you're saying, and I completely agree. But let's even go a step past that, though. What about you're talking about the ability to influence. I'm talking about let's go even a step further. Experience, actually experiencing things exists independent of our body, and hypothetically in a future, maybe 100 years out, where our biological bodies actually kind of make a 180 degree. Right now, this is my avatar. Where our biological body is almost an avatar of our higher digital conscious self. I mean, again, we're talking stuff that's like way out there. I mean, even best case scenario.
Yeah, like you could go into, like, as you say, what is consciousness, right? So let's say, for example, once Neuralink gets to a crazy stage, it's able to connect to every part of the brain and perfectly be able to extract information and input information in real time, and there'd be no problems and all of this stuff. I don't know. It gets crazy. Then. Like, what happens then? Are you able to the thing that this Neuralink's able to extract? Is it even you anymore? You go into the Star Trek. You go to the Star Trek teleporter conundrum, right? Like once you get teleported on a transporter, basically you're dead.
Did you die?
You get killed and recreated. Every single time.
Is that you or are you dead?
It's
metaphysics.
But it's a new person. It's a recreation. It's so it's the same. It's the same when you upload your digital consciousness or your digital clone of the signals that are in your brain, right? Because we don't even know what's going on. There might not even be a way to extract the signals, because I'm going to plug a little YouTube channel now. PBS Spacetime did a little video recently.
I love it. Yes.
So I highly recommend. What he said. So if you like this kind of conversation right now, there's a video that happened recently about Roger Penrose's little hypothesis from back in the 70s, where he tried to correlate quantum mechanics into brain activity, right? So the way that our brain works could be a quantum, like an
Minor
organic
Red
quantum
has
computer,
glitched into the Matrix.
and there's evidence now that that's more likely the case. We don't know for sure, but yeah, it all goes into weirdness because of the quantum mechanics of things. If you understand a bit about quantum mechanics, you can't know exactly where the position of something and then know its where it's going to go or its velocity. Yes, yeah, exactly. So there's an uncertainty principle there, and that could affect what we do or can't do in terms of the future of what you're dreaming of. I wish there was the case, but I think that our brains are more complex than what we realize, and I don't think that
But all these technologies are going toward that direction.
Yes, they go into that direction, and whether or not they can interface right and do the thing that we want them to do is a different question. Yeah, and I really think that this is probably a 1,000-year problem or even longer. I don't think that our technology will ever be as good enough right now or in the very near future to do the things that you're hoping for. I wish there could be like there could be like what's it called, a snowball effect,
singularity.
Right? Once the singularity happens, there'll be an explosion of information, stuff that we've never even thought of before. Stuff's gonna get real crazy. We could all get turned into black slime. But yeah, there's your waffle. I'm gonna cut you off there. I can get to another question. There you go. You had your little waffle.
Oh my god.
Go, Restless.
Completely off topic. Did you know yellow crayons taste like sunshine?
What?
Hang on, say that again. Your voice is lagging a bit.
Oh. Did you know yellow crayons taste like sunshine?
No, I didn't. I know yellow snow doesn't taste like sunshine.
Well, we won't go there with that one.
Like burning.
Pro tip: don't eat yellow snow, okay?
Tried it.
Or brown snow. Great. Well, we've gone off the chains now. We're doing existential crises about artificial intelligence and the futures of Neuralink and what's my favorite color. Yeah. Has anybody else got any questions?
What's your favorite food?
Oh boy. Okay, Vansky asked, "What's my favorite food?" I'd say the old-fashioned hamburger.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Clowns are midgets.
Oh boy. What? Hang on.
Clowns are
You
terrifying.
megaphone, Vansky.
Are just people.
Oh.
No more? Okay, sorry, my bad.
No more.
Okay, right then. That might be a nice little time to maybe call it quits on the AMA. Maybe, I don't know. If anybody else has got any questions, feel free to pop up.
Anybody?
Promote Fire Rat and Gooch Monkey.
No pressure.
Oh yeah.
Sorry?
Yeah, Fire Rat.
Promote Fire and Gooch Monkey for the stuff they did.
Yes. So we've got our community member of the month now. We've got Fire Rat in there, member of the month for all of their work, and just always being here, helping out. Absolute legend. Round of applause to them. There you go. Let's put my controllers together. Yeah. Gooch Monkey 2, right? So yeah, every week now, I'm pretty sure it's every week, we're going to give away a quest for a little bit, right? So Gooch Monkey won the most recent one. So congratulations to them. For those who aren't aware, all you've got to do is just be signed in to your side quest account by clicking the smiley face icon and just be in the game randomly, and then potentially you could get picked, all right? Don't force yourself to come in at crazy times and whatever. Just come in whenever you can. Do it naturally, and yeah, you may be picked. You never know, all right? Anybody could be picked, as some of you know. It's a crazy experience, but yeah.
In a featured space.
Yeah.
You have to be in. Yeah. You can't be in the lobby. That's the only condition, I'm pretty sure. Yeah. There you go. In a public space. Well, not in a public, just in a space, right? You could be building your own space. You know, as long as you're, you know, not in the lobby, I guess. Yeah. That's the condition. There you go. I'm not sure. Don't quote me on that one. That could be a bit of false information there. There could be some, you know, might need to get fact checked on Twitter or something. I don't know. Sorry for wiggling around there, guys. I'm just looking at myself there in the distance, just kind of moving around like a psychopath. Oh, look at that booty there. Oh, yeah.
You're fine. We're fine.
Oh, there we go. All right, guys, we will call it quits there on the old AMA. I'm sorry that Shane wasn't here, but I hope I answered your questions. We'll try and get some definitive dates as soon as we can for a lot of the stuff. But yeah, keep an eye out in the not the side quest, geez, the Banter announcement channel in the Discord, right? We'll try and put as much updates as we can there for any new builds or progress that's happening right now. Yeah, stay tuned. There's a lot of stuff happening that's kind of right on the cusp of getting released. So it's exciting times. So yeah, and thank you for being in Banter and giving us all your feedback and pushing the app forward and your commitment to us and your yeah, loads of other words, I guess. Your yeah, gracias.
Happy days.
Thank you.
Good job, Bob.
Well done, everyone.
Yeah.
Touche. Thank you. Right then, I will disable the